See what LGD's thoughts are on this, as I could see AA getting banned here. Well, the Morphling's already banned. You ban the AA, maybe you want to go into the Huskar. We keep seeing the Huskar, for the most part, like I said, just in the last game, we didn't see him banned, but we've been seeing the Huskar banned, and, well, why not take a chance here? You're up 2-1. You have a game to give. Why not go for, say, a Huskar? See how it works out for you. Try something maybe a little bit different.
Vici Gaming's turn to
Ban out the Slark, which does well here with the Ogre Magi. I do wonder if Vici will fall back and go for that Faceless Void, or if they're going to go for the Monkey King.
Seconds remaining. Vici Gaming's turn to pick.
They ban out the Monkey King themselves. A little surprising.
PSG.LGD.
And okay, so even though they didn't take the Rubik in the first phase, they'll end up grabbing it here. Ogre Magi, Rubik, Centaur, pretty standard draft up to this point. Still making me think that they're going to go to the Faceless Void. We'll see if Eurus, if he does get it, plays it better this time. Not that he played all too horribly, but of course that big whiff on the Chronosphere is something that's going to stick in your mind when you think about Eurus in on the Faceless Void coming again. That's something that might be stuck in his mind as well. I wonder what LGD do in anticipation of this potential Faceless Void. Do they just take it themselves? On top of which, they both need safe laners on their teams, and they need mids. We've seen a bunch of different mids throughout this series. We saw Queen of Pain earlier. We've seen DK, and we've seen Razor come through. And they go, is this the Somnus mid Earth Spirit? Are we going to see this again? Because we saw it the other day, and he got bailed out by the rest of his team.
Faceless Void.
And there's the Faceless Void. So, just the other day, Somnus played this mid-Earth Spirit.
10 seconds remaining.
And you go to like, well, he didn't get a chance to do it this way, but
5 seconds
it's going into the Crystallis early, getting that level 10 talent of the extra damage.
Vici Gaming's turn to battle.
And there's the OD, so they swap off of that. I was really hoping we'd see it again and get another chance here for maybe Somnus to redeem himself. That could still be a safe lane OD. Not completely out of the woods on it yet. That, and I'm just, grasping at straws here, hoping that that ends up being the case.
5 seconds remaining.
But yeah, that game was up against IG. Somnus went 5, 6, and 12 on the Earth Spirit, but Chalice was the one who bailed him out, and it was honestly a hard game for them to win. They had a Phantom Lancer that was up against the Leshrac, and there was a lot coming in from JT on the offlane Nature's Prophet. Chalice ends up holding that game on his back as the Phantom Lancer, 11-0-10, and bails Somnus out on a poor performance from that Earth Spirit.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So Band of the Troll comes in.
PSG.LGD's turn to pick.
And there's a Quap band coming through. LGD, are they going to keep the X-Nova Earth Spirit? I'm hoping. I'm hoping they go to the Somnus one. They trick us all. They throw the OD over in the safe lane. They try something here. They're up a game with another to play. You know, it's not a lose and you lose the series kind of game.
10 seconds.
Why not go for something a little bit more off the meta or off standard?
Vici Gaming's turn to pick.
They won't. They disappoint everybody everywhere. But there's the Lone Druid picked up for Chalice. You've got Somnus, who will be on the OD, X-Nova on the Earth Spirit, Mars being played by Old 11, and Phoenix there for FY. Unless, of course, they want to go to the FY Earth Spirit and put X-Nova on the Phoenix. But it should be at least the first iteration around. And Vici Gaming, they're going to go on to pick their 5th hero. They need a mid still up against this OD. Puck still not banned. They might want to go that direction. They go to the Huskar.
Choose your hero.
So Ori on the Huskar, Eurus on the Faceless Void again. PYW playing that Rubik. DY on the Ogre for, I think, what is the 6th time tonight? Played Ogre in all 3 games of the first series. Played Ogre in game 3. I guess it's only his 5th time tonight.
10 seconds remaining.
That was one off.
5 seconds remaining.
And it will be the X-Nova Earth Spirit FY back on the Phoenix. Old 11 on the Mars. Somnus mid with that OD. Safe lane Chalice, Lone Druid. So let's see how this goes for LGD. Can they close out the series, or are we going to stay up even later and go a full 5? Because as of right now, well, I mean, you've got Vici and LGD series starting in 15 minutes. And trust me, I wouldn't mind the full 5 coming out here if Vici were to take this game. So we'll get started in just a moment. So here we go, game 4 between Vici Gaming and LGD. Should be a good one here.
For battle.
I'm going to take a look at a few things before we really get the ball rolling. It should just be, unless something were to, someone were to be found out extraneously out of position, it should just be 2 bounty runes apiece. Taking a look at Ori's play as this Huskar in pro games. He's only played 11 games as Huskar. His last game was 2 months ago, and he's 7-5. He's on a 3-game winning streak with it. Beat IG, RNG, and TNC with it. 2 months ago, it was a win against IG during Dream League where he went 11-4-10. So, you know, Huskar not really the Ori special. There's certainly heroes that are the Ori special, say the Storm Spirit, which is up there as the Ori special, or the Medusa, where he's played like 36 games and he's got a 75% win rate. Also, the TA for Ori is fantastic as well. So it'll be interesting to see him here on the Huskar. We'll see where this game 4 goes, if LGD can close out this series, or if we're going to go full 5. So here we go, we're right on it as DY. Eating some harassment here from FY. Spirits coming his way. DY still on the run. Might just be in trouble of being first blood. Burning down pretty heavily. No more fire spirits here for FY. The right clicks come in. He needed 2 more shots to get the kill there onto the Ogre Magi, who will pop the salve and be able to stay nearby. That was off the back of the fact that DY got the Courier of Old 11. And let's see how this goes. Somnus against Ori. Got the Astro Imprisonment as well as the Essence Flux. But Ori dealing with the Burning Spear as well as the Berserker's Blood. And against someone like Somnus, where the Inner Fire might feel that much better earlier on and force a struggle from Somnus. Usually the build for a Huskar is the Armlet over into the Heaven's Halberd. Again, can see the Heaven's Halberd being very beneficial for this team if you want to put the Heaven's Halberd out onto the OD or even onto the Bear. You know, this could be a good couple of items here for the Huskar, depending on when, in fact, he does, you know, pace into the Armlet and then the Heaven's Halberd. Take a look over bottom. Yang here with PYW. It's the classic Centaur Rubik lane, where you're looking for the telekinesis into the hoof stomp with the level 2 in the Retaliate, where he's got all 13 stacks ready to go, and he's finally got it level 2. So take a look over and see if maybe they can get something bottom here for Vici, as this has been a pretty popular lane for Yang and PYW with the Centaur and the Rubik. So you know, it's definitely a combination that they've got down pat. We'll see how Chalice deals with this as well. He may not go after Chalice. Might just go for X-Nova if they find him out of position. Meanwhile, DY throwing some right clicks in over onto FY. DY, FY. Very close in the alphabet here. Looking for AY, BY, CY. Yang getting hit up pretty hard. X-Nova coming through with the Rolling Boulder as well as the Boulder Smash from this Earth Spirit. And Yang forced back a little bit, but he's got the early Ring of Tarrasque. So he's working with the early Ring of Tarrasque. He's also got the Headjust regen coming through from PYW. Well, even without a Tango, he's regenning at 10.6. This is fantastic. I mean, super sustainable in lane, and not only that, he's got the next ring coming over that's going to give him even more health regen. So the Centaur in this lane, I mean, Yang should feel pretty safe. Bear trying to TP out, but 300 gold is there for PYW. Certainly a good feeling to get you into those boots, but he's actually already got the boots and he'll have himself 400 gold to work with. So Chalice giving up the gold to the Bear. Centaur taking a lot of damage over bottom. He'll run back. But again, you look at that health regen that he's got. And that with a Tango. And all of a sudden it's 24.6. This is pretty disgusting. Meanwhile, our Spirit's sitting pretty low. They've also got the Phoenix coming through towards mid. That'll send X-Nova all the way back with the Rolling Boulder. And now DY in between Old 11 as well as FY. Spear doesn't connect to anything, just pushes him away to get the Bounty Rune. And 5 minutes into the game, we're still sitting here with no first blood. (32-5) right now for the Centaur. Very much enjoying his life. Here with the high regen and has himself just about halfway through level 5. Take a look over mid. Ori getting hit up a little bit hard. X-Nova was the one who came over with the Rolling Boulder as well as the Boulder Smash, but now he's hit with the Fire Blast coming up from DY. X-Nova getting chased with the Burning Spears hitting on him. Will it be enough damage to get the kill onto the Earth Spirit? It will. So first blood is there for Ori over mid with the rotations of PYW as well as the Ogre of DY. And they counteract this 3-man gank attempt from LGD. So, finally get the first blood out and about. Meanwhile, Eurus sitting at level 6 compared to the Lone Druid, so they're sitting at about even. And it's always a worry here with the Void up against the Mars. There's opportunity for Mars to blow you out of the water, hit you with a spear as well as a God's Rebuke, where you may not be ready for it, but you end up getting blown up pretty heavily. Meanwhile, bottom, FY gets the kill there on to Yang. I'm a little bit surprised. So back towards top. Old 11. Almost begging them to go in onto this Mars. Meanwhile, through mid, Ori throwing some shots continuously over at Somnus. As the two of them are just about even. A little bit more of an experience lead here for Ori overall, as he's sitting here at 31-15 compared to the 30-11 of this OD. So there, the treads should be either Armlet or the Heaven's Halberd next, and it will be the Heaven's Halberd to start this off. You know, the quicker they're able to get into the Heaven's Halberd, the quicker they can really disrupt the early fights from LGD. The Vanguard finished off on Yang in the offlane. X-Nova rotating towards mid once again. And we'll see if X-Nova is a little bit more successful this time in making a gank over mid on Ori. Sentry Ward gets placed down. They'll check out the Sentry of the Dire. Bottom, FY. Goes over to Yang. X-Nova coming over. Yang starting to get surrounded. There's 3 heroes here. They're waiting for him to make the walk towards the stairs, but the Boulder Smash actually puts him further away from the rest of the team. I don't know if that was on purpose there from X-Nova, but it certainly led and helped Yang to escape that engagement. Gonna look over towards top. Fire Blast comes in as well as the time dilation. Spear locks this Void up to the tree. Old 11 doesn't have the mana right now for the arena, but he's got 9 wand charges, now 10, as well as a Soul Ring to work with. But nobody up here to help him out. Meanwhile, coming through mid is PYW. They've got the telekinesis out on to Somnus. Chronosphere committed. It's a 4-man chrono because it includes himself and 2 teammates. But it's there to get the kill there on the Somnus. And Eurus makes the rotation out, drops the chrono onto the OD, and is pretty happy with that kill. Gets quickly back into the lane, so it's not like he was out of top lane for that long. And this really helps out Ori in a way. So, Old 11 still sitting here with a, low count on his mana, but of course continually reminded that he's got that wand and the soul ring that he can use at any point. First hit bash comes in. Another bash out onto the Mars. Old 11 trying to run away. He's got the bulwark up as now the Arena of Blood is committed. Old 11, Boulder Smash comes in from X Nova. Now he's on the run. Dropped that arena down pretty defensively. They've also brought FY over, but there's not much the supports can do. They're looking for the 10-minute rune. Ori shows himself. Spear, a complete whiff to the right of these heroes. A little shocking there. So far, Vici holding their own a lot better than the previous game. 10 minutes in and it's even a net worth. You see that Old 11 sitting top of the net worth here for the Radiant, and there's not much of a big drop off there between him and Chalice. We take a look over at the Bear, who's got the Mask of Madness ready to go. Into the Phase Boots next. Taking a look over at Somnus, who's got the double damage, and he's going straight into the Ags. And this was a build that I really liked the last time we saw the OD on LGD, and I believe that was the first round, if I recall correctly. Maybe it was against IG. Yeah, it was the second game against IG, actually. The 22-minute game where they had the Chalice Nature's Prophet that went absolutely ham on IG. They went Ags early on to the OD. It really seemed super effective to disrupt the team fight of IG, and maybe that's going to be the same case here up against this Vici lineup. The thing that really helped them up against the Faceless Void in the third game was the fact that they had FY in the Dark Willow to throw the Terrorize out anytime they committed the Chronosphere. So this time around, maybe as long as the OD's not involved, they're able to find themselves getting potentially an Astral Imprisonment out to stop him from doing anything within the Chronosphere. But now they've got themselves the Arena of Blood down. PYW ends up dead first. Yang committing the Stampede, but the Icarus Dive coming over from FY. Now they've got Ori nearby. Chalice giving chase. Bear looking for a root. Can't get it as the Inner Fire disarms the Bear for just a moment. Somnus moving forward. If they could just get the root on Ori, they'll be able to get the kill. They're bringing the Ogre Magi over as sort of a sacrificial lamb as they pull off on LGD, but they stop the TP. Now they've got the Life Break coming out on Old 11. The Geomagnetic Grip hits on to 2, as well as the Boulder Smash. Now they've got the Sanities coming through on a Yang, and this is not 1, but potentially 2, as Ori with the Inner Fire stays alive for a little bit longer. Now LGD turn tail. They look over at the Lone Druid. They've got the Telekinesis coming through onto Chalice, but he's got the Fear, stays alive for a little bit longer. Double kill for Ori. It really did look like they were going to get the kill onto the Huskar, but they're unable to finish him off. So Vici end up coming ahead in that fight. And I guess maybe it was due to the lag that Chalice was feeling. Great excuse, you know, obviously that has to be it. I believe the double equal signs is lag or something like that. Because I know they say Kale for lag as well, but there's multiple ways to signify that in chat. I don't know what that means. We got ourselves another pause. The first game was 53 minutes long, and we had like 5 pauses that averaged about 3 minutes each. This series started like 4 hours ago. Maybe 5. But let's take a look at the items on both sides so far. I don't like that. I wish we could just get the Bears inventory right out to the side. Just this little spot right here. But take a look at Somnus. He's got himself those treads. Has the Faded Brooch, Trusty Shovel, Poor Man's Shield out on Old 11 as he's got Phase Boots as well as the Soul Ring. Mask of Madness out on Eurus. And you've got the arcane boots on PYW. PYW is pretty farmed. Yeah, 2400 sits on top of all the other supports. We're going into that Heaven's Halberd to start. So having multiple disarms. And then Yang having this Vanguard as well as another Ring of Tarrasque. 18.4, not enough to keep him alive though. I think the big turn on that last team fight too is the fact that just Ori ends up surviving there. They dropped the sanities. They were looking to finish off both the Huskar as well as the Centaur, but they just don't get that finishing blow, and that was enough to really start to turn this around. Getting the kill on a Chalice too was huge. The fear not lasting long enough, ends up trying to leave, gets caught by the telekinesis of PYW. He's looking into that Aether Lens. And they've already got all their tier 1, so no Keen Optic dropping for him early. Zero net worth this deep into the game. I'm surprised, Chalice. Very shocked. Well, we got some time, I guess. We got the equals down. Who do you think will win game 4 now? LGD or Vici? Bam. We'll get your vote on this. So let's see how this is going to play out. I don't have the Chronosphere available. Somnus doesn't have Sanities up. Do they just back out? Ori nearby with PYW, but Telekinesis on cooldown for another 18 seconds. I wonder if they go to re-engage and throw like a Supernova down over on the side here. Get maybe an overcommitment from Vici. So Paul's coming in, and I think, yeah, maybe it is ESL coming to ask them where they're at. But they're a part of a BO5 that they were committed 2 months ago. This season starting in October. And here we go. None of what I thought would happen would happen. They just left. They didn't try to turn. They didn't try to make anything big happen. They just left. Finally, we get the ball rolling once again. 13 minutes into the game with a 1,000 net worth lead here for Vici. As Ori and the rest of Vici will commit and get that tier 1 tower towards bottom. Yang showing himself going into the Blink Dagger next. We've seen Yang make some big plays earlier in this series. He struggled, though, on the Centaur. It was very uncharacteristic of him on this hero, as it was, honestly, not the worst game. But I think ultimately he ended like 2-6-4 or something like that. Chalice hoping to get a root. Telekinesis comes in. The Rolling Boulder misses from X Nova. The Icarus Dive comes through, as well as the Geomagnetic Grip to get the silence out onto PYW. They'll get the kill there onto the Rubik. So PYW's positioning off the mark, and they get the kill out onto the Rubik. But all the while, continuing to farm up right now is the Faceless Void. They'll stampede Yang out. Gets out of the hands of Somnus and X Nova. Going into the Desolator next, has the Mask of Madness. This bear will be able to rip through these buildings and potentially rip through these heroes, as long as they've got the lockdown necessary to keep them in place. Hoping to get those roots, hoping to get some help from the rest of his team. Meanwhile, on the Mars, It's into the pipe, then the blink dagger. And I'm a big fan of the blink dagger on Mars. The blink into an arena.
Radiant are scanning.
Work from there with a spear as well as the God's Rebuke. Things get much better for the Mars, in my opinion, once he's got that blink dagger.
Dire's top tower is under
And spear vessel first for the Phoenix. So Ori not even going into the armament. Feel like he's going straight BKB. Bulwark stolen by the Rubik. We're forming up some Ancients over bottom.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And it's just to keep things calm for the moment. We'll see which team will look to initiate. And for right now, Eurus is just trying to farm up that Maelstrom, and then you've got the BKB next for Ori. So are they going to take the time here to get this BKB, or are they ready to fight with the Huskar? You know, he's sitting on a level 12. He's got inner fire level 2, as well as having the multiple disarms ready to go. And once they've got Chronosphere back up, which they do have now, that might be their moment to go and look.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Especially with LGD pressuring the top tier 1.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Not committing to anything so far. Eurus waiting in the trees as the pressure on the tier 1 mid comes out from Ori.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Got 4 of the 5 nearby as Yang cutting the creeps in between the tier 2 and the tier 3. Yang taking a lot of this attention. The arena comes out as well as the God's Rebuke. Now the spear locks him up to the side of the arena. Yang gets the hoof stomp out as well as the stampede. Now they're trying to turn this around. The rolling boulder comes out from X Nova. Waiting for the opportunity is Eurus as well as Ori as they'll find Old 11 once again. Eurus waiting on the side. Somnus sees him, backs off for just a moment. Eurus moving forward on Old 11 once again. They've got all 5 heroes here to break through this Mars. Bulwark or not, they're going to get through it. And they break the shield as he ends up on his spear. And there's the Time Walk as well as the Chronosphere committed on to Somnus. And X-Nova trying to get the save with a Geomagnetic Grip coming out of PYW, but they've got the Telekinesis out on X-Nova. They'll lift him up, slam him down. Will they get the kill? No, they stop committing to this. They back away with the bear coming forward. Chalice, though, trying to get the kill on a PYW. A couple more shots will kill him off. But the stolen spear, that gets thrown over at Chalice. Now he's locked up. DY comes in with a Fire Blast to stun him up. There's the Maelstrom finished for Eurus, and now they'll continue forward to get the kill here onto the Lone Druid. They look over at X-Nova, comes in late, and it's another one here for Vici. 8-4 in their favor, 5,000 net worth lead. And we're starting on our way to a potential game 5. So Rubik just stays alive, throwing that spear out, and it locks up Chalice. Gives the opportunity for Eurus to get the finish. X-Nova tries to get the save, but really just rolling into his death. And this has jumped out of control very quickly. 7,000 net worth lead here for Vici. LGD don't really have the items to deal with this just yet. They're still looking for the Ags on the OD. Chalice, no bear for 5 more seconds. There it is. Back to the Mask of Madness, trying to finish off that Desolator. 1,300 gold away from that. I mean, things are pretty slow right now for the 1 and 2 of LGD. Meanwhile, you've got a Huskar who's just a component away from finishing off the BKB. Eurus into the Maelstrom as well as the Mask of Madness. He's got the Mithril Hammer that's leading into a BKB as well. Get those 2 BKBs out, and the fights just get that much easier here for Vici.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So Old 11 thinking about making his jump onto Ori. They've got FY and most of the team behind him. The only one that's not there is the OD, who's towards top. Pushing out bottom, though, is Eurus continuing to farm, going into that BKB like we've reiterated a couple times thus far. And it's Vici continuing the pressure past the river. So they've postured up. They stay on the Radiant side, and they're looking to force LGD into some mistakes. kind of sad here is the 3-4-5. Meanwhile, Somnus does get the Ags, and he continues to farm up towards top, while they'll still try to finish the Desolator on the Bear. But this looks like potentially you'll lose the Tier 2 tower over mid. Ori and Yang work on this as they get the TP coming through. That'll be Chalice coming over. They've got the Telekinesis out onto the Mars. They throw him down, but there's the Arena as well as the Fire Blast. The Time Walk away from Eurus. Sunray stolen Arena. Now the Chronosphere comes in from Eurus. He's trying to find something with this as DY survives thanks to the Chrono, but that's a Chrono that really doesn't net them anything. DY ends up dead. Chalice gets the kill there. Now they'll try to stampede away, but they've got the Astro Imprisonment. They've locked him down. They've got the Magnetize out on a Eurus. Maybe looking to re-engage on this. The big hippie's going to be popped by Ori, looking over at old 11. The life break jump all the way forward onto the Mars, focusing the Bear, trying to get some gold, as well as take away the damage from this lone Druid, who becomes a creep without it. They'll take the Bear away, and now they've got the buyback committed from old 11. Ori's still doing some work here. The rolling boulder onto the high ground from X-Nova to try and get away. The spear doesn't land onto a tree. Chalice with a new Bear, trying to chase onto these dire heroes. PYW Yang onto the high ground. The Hoof Stomp misses. There's the God's Rebuke. Ori doing some damage. Old 11 just popped back. There's the life break, as well as the inner fire, getting the disarm, and this is old 11 in a lot of trouble. Sanity's Eclipse flies in. They'll get the first life away from this Huskar. Now they'll look for X-Nova, who rolling boulder further into the fight. They've got the Fear out onto the Centaur, running away with the Spare Vessel on himself, but now they've got themselves the Bear for a second time. Oh, this is Lone Drew without a Bear for 86 seconds. Your top net worth hero is basically a glorified creep.
I was meant to have this.
So Vici up 11,000 net worth. LGD just hoping to hold on. This could be the start of a turn. Rolling boulder hits. Right click's coming through. Geomagnetic grip from X-Nova. And another Astral Imprisonment. With the rolling boulder and the right click finishing him off. I think Somnus wanted to leave. Thought that Astral Imprisonment would be enough. Meanwhile, Chalice, the glorified creep over bottom, ends up dead. That was with 27 seconds still without the Bear. It's 11-6. Good amount of gold going there for Vici, taking out the lone Druid. I've got the Bloodlust out on a PYW as well as Eurus. They're going to pressure over bottom. Meanwhile, pushing forward is old 11. Attempts the TPing out. Time Walker. Oof. So many stuns available over bottom, but they just don't see him in time to lock him up. Ori, meanwhile, he comes towards the outpost in top. Astro Imprisonment stops him from capturing that, but it's not like it's on a timer of the 29th or the 19th minute. They'll just grab it back. Spear stolen here by the Rubik. You take a look over mid. Old 11, he's been caught out. Yours PYW as well as DY all here to try and take care of the Mars. But we're keeping him alive. He backs up with some speed, but they've got the Stampede to try and close the distance. The Fire Blast hits. It's a multicast and dominating for Eurus. Oh boy, Telekinesis into the Chronosphere. Sunray to try and keep the OD alive, but the multicast is 3 times. And Eurus trying to get the pair again. Oh. He would still have another minute and 5 seconds without it if they had just killed it there. So unless LGD find a way to bring it back from this 14,000 net worth deficit, we look destined to go the full 5. OD's got Ags and that's about it. He's looking into the Blink Dagger. They smoke up 3 of these heroes. You can see how much of the net worth the Bear holds. So without the Bear, it's just brown boots. PYW. Telekinesis out onto the Earth Spirit as well as the Stolen Spear. That locks him up on a tree. Now Old 11. He's getting hit up pretty hard. The damage coming through from Ori as well as Eurus is enough to bully him to death. They also get the kill on X Nova, so they'll take out a second. 2 heroes over bottom looking to get an outpost. With that smoke, they end up dead. And Vici continuing to extend this lead now up to a 17,000 net worth advantage. Instead of the Blink Dagger, or after the Blink Dagger, it will be the Hex coming through for this OD if he can get there in time. Chalice ready with the bear, but they're fighting a 3v5. Life Break comes out of the bear as well as the Ignite. That's going to multicast from DY once again, and the bear is gone. He's got another bear, though. When you get this one, you won't have one for 2 minutes. Rolling Boulder comes in as well as the Boulder Smash. That brings Yang back into the base a little bit deeper, but is that really going to matter? X-Nova gives up his life for this. You're really going to try and focus the guy who's the tankiest hero on the side of Vici at the moment? So, 26 minutes in, and LGD feel like all they can do is stand at the top of the stairs and hope Vici want to finish the game.
Illusion.
Radiant are scanning.
So smoke comes in. It's a desperation play from LGD to try to turn this game around. If they can find an advantageous fight for themselves, maybe a 5-for-2. And maybe we see the beginnings of a comeback. But, I mean, Vici have everything ready to go. They've got all their ultis up, everything to throw towards the side of LGD. They're waiting towards mid, almost hoping that an LGD player steps out too far. So they smoke, they go to the high ground, they've got the Bloodlust, now they look over at X Nova who tries to Rolling Boulder out of there, but they've got the Telekinesis as well as the multicast on the Fire Blast. They'll take out the Earth Spirit, dead for 30 seconds, has buyback. Got 3 heroes here on the side of LGD, and 2 of them have TPs. They should probably go as Ori gets the life break out, and now they've got the Stampede. Astral Imprisonment comes in from Somnus, but is it going to matter? Telekinesis through from PYW onto this Mars. Now they've got the Hoof Stomp coming through as well as the Double Edge. Do they have the damage to get the kill on the Old 11 before he TPs out? The stun should be there for DY, and there's the kill. So one after the next. LGD continue to just lose heroes. Pickoff after pickoff.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Haste.
Being down so much so quickly. It's been a picture-perfect game so far from Vici. Ori finds the life breakout onto X Nova. And with the inner fire, he'll get the kill. The Geomagnetic Grip as well as the Boulder Smash is there, but it really doesn't do anything. They almost get the kill on a Yang, but now they look over as Eurus. Time walk forward, gets the Chronosphere out onto Somnus. They've locked him down. They've got the bashes. They'll get the kill. They're without this OD for 50 seconds. They'll call GG. We are going the full 5 in this grand final for the Dota 2 Professional League.
Vici Gaming. Victory.
So Vici steamroll that game, 21-6. Really never an inkling of an answer from LGD. 0-6 for X Nova, 2-0-2 for FY. Somehow doesn't die that entire game. 1-7-1 for Old 11. Not a good game on that Mars. And 2-4-1 for Somnus. Meanwhile, Eurus goes 9-0-8. Has a perfect game for him. PYW 2 deaths, but 16 assists. Involved in 16 of the 21 kills. Happy to be the second most involved hero behind Eurus. And a wire-to-wire win for Vici. So we'll be back for Game 5 in just a moment. It's getting closer to 9 a.m. We'll be back momentarily. Stay right there. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And be ready for Game 5.